This 6'10 KD build is on steroids. Not only can this build shoot lights out like it's Kevin Durant, it can drive to the rim like LeBron. This build can speed boost and lock people up. So make sure you stick around and watch the entire vid to see how I made this build. Alright, time to go over the build and all the attributes and whatnot. So first things first, I do want to preface that to make this build, you want to have at least 6 cap breakers. All right, 6 cap breakers, because you guys are going to see that we're going to kind of manipulate the builder here in order to get the most out of this build. All right, starting with the physicals, power forward position, 6'10 height. I know KD is like 6'11, some say he's 7 foot, but 6'10 is what we're going with. You get a bit more attributes and a bit more speed being 6'10, so we're going with that. 211 for the weight, so we can get at least 85 strength. As you see, it's 86. You could stop down to an 85, but it doesn't hurt our build trying to go up one more to an 86 strength, so that's why I go with 211. And then wingspan 6'10. All right, now this is what the attributes look like. Now I'm gonna be real, these are different from what my actual build looks like. These, I would say, are actually better, more improved. So go with these attributes instead of what you may see in a few clips of my attributes when I showcase like the cap breaker stuff and everything. So first thing we gotta cover is the ball handling. As you see, our ball handling is fairly low, because what we're gonna do with this build is we're gonna cap breaker this up to then get ourselves some good ball handling. All right, because starting off low and setting it low allows us then to put our attributes elsewhere here in the template to fully, maximize our build. All right, so now coming back to the first section here, finishing, we get 89 close shot, which gets you float game on gold. So if you guys are those cheesers that want to, spam the floaters, you can go ahead and do that. Driving dunk, on my original build, I have around an 89. I think I set it to a 90 actually. I would stop and put it here at an 87. You don't need anything higher really, because contact dunks aren't super insane right now. So just get the bare minimum 87, and that'll get you, I believe, like off 1 contact dunks. It's either off 1 or off 2. So just 1 pair of contact dunks is decent enough, and you should be good to go. Post control, we have 94. As you can see, we get Hall of Fame post fade phenom. We get some other good badges too. Post up poet on gold. Unpluckable is on silver. But if you see, for post up poet and unpluckable, we could get those higher up to a tier higher if we go up 2, but I would cap breaker that way later. Again, first 6 cap breakers use for your playmaking. That's the necessity. Once you get that done, then every other cap breaker you have, you can apply to say here, this post control towards defense, whatever it is. Remember, just the playmaking is the necessity. So now to the shooting, we are maxing out our mid range to a 94. So we get some good shooting badges here. Now, some of these badges are still on gold, so you just want to +1, +2 these badges to get them to either Hall of Fame or Legend. And then our 3-pointer, we are stopping at an 87. As you can see, to get silver limitless range, you need 2 more to an 89. So what we're going to do is we're going to use shooting build specialization on this build to add 2 to our 3-pointer. That will get us silver. And then within the shooting build specialization +2, you can add your limitless range there, and that'll make it Hall of Fame. Went over the playmaking again, setting it low so we can cap breaker it later. Now defense, defensively, interior defense is at a 77. I'm gonna be real, I don't know what it is with interior defense and block especially, but it just seems so non-existent right now in the game. So trust me, as long as you play smart and you know what you're doing, this will be fine. Perimeter defense 83, that is maxed out to the highest that we can get it to. Get some decent defensive badges. You can always +1 or +2 these to get them up a bit higher, but honestly 83 is fairly good. It honestly works just as well as the 92 and 93 perimeter defensive rating, which makes no sense, but that's how 2K is this year. Steal, I've always said this, I don't care about steal. Steal just does not matter to me. Keep this low. And then block, we have this to a 78. Again, I don't know what it is. Block just seems so non-existent. I have a different build, a 6'8 build, and I'm pretty sure that build has more block. It has like an 82, I want to say. And I just still rarely get blocks. Even when I +2'd my high flying denier for that other build and got it to Hall of Fame, still was not getting a lot of chase down blocks, still wasn't like hitting stuff. So honestly, I feel like you can set this down to 60 if you really wanted to, because my small guard build has like a 60 block, and at times it was blocking people better than this build. So I don't know what is up with the block rating, but we get 78 on this build, so I think that's good. Block does also help with just contests in general for when you're jumping to contest someone. So in the end, it's always good to have it fairly high. Rebounding, again, these are all bare minimum. So not touching these, it's a ones build, so you're not gonna have to rebound. And then physicals, we're trying to max out pretty much all of these. So speed, 80, agility, 76. Strength, we're going with the 86. The reason that I mentioned earlier, trying to go for 86 is so then you can get post-up powerhouse on gold. If you settle for the 85, as you see, you only get silver. So if you care about posting up, I don't really post up or cheese that much when it comes to that stuff, but going up one for that extra strength doesn't hurt the build too much. So might as well just throw it on just so you can have it. And then vertical, bare minimum 78 because we have the 87 driving dunk. 78 is all you really need to unlock the one contact dunk that you're able to get. So these are all the attributes for the build. So now I'm going to take you guys over to the build to showcase the cap breakers as well as the animations for my dribbling, because I'm sure a lot of you have questions like, okay, it's 610, it can kind of speed boost, but what animations are you using? So I'm gonna show you guys that right now. All right, so first looking at the cap breakers, again, you may see these attributes here on the left. These might look a little different from what I just showed you in the template builder, because I realized you can honestly kind of tweak it a little bit to make it a bit better. So again, for example, the driving dunk you see is at a 90, but you honestly don't need that. So just settle for the 87, you'll be good to go. But as you can see, for the 3-point shot, we cap breakered that up too with the shooting build specialization. So we have the 89.3 getting us that silver limitless range. Now looking at our playmaking, this is what I was talking about right here. So first, obviously, what in the fuck? So first, obviously, you need to max out your playmaking. So get your ball handling and your speed with ball up to that 60, 61, 65. And then apply these 5 cap breakers right here to get to a 78 ball handling. And then all you need is 1 cap breaker for your speed with ball to get to a 70. And this is all you're going to need to get some of the best handles for a 610, which I'm going to show you guys right now. So going to my animations, playmaking moves, as you see, dribble style, we're going with Giannis. Signature size up, we got Kevin Durant. Breakdown combos, Julius Randle. Escape moves, KD. Combo moves, Pro. Crossover, Pro. Behind the back, KD. Pretty much everything is like KD. Step back, I go with Pro, so you can get kind of that snatch that you guys will see me probably do a lot in the gameplays. So as far as the dribbling animations, that's what I use on this build. Now, aside from cap breakering, your ball handling, and using those animations, something you want to do to really cheese and get some insane handles on this build is going to your takeover. You're gonna want to have custom takeover. If you don't know custom takeover, as you see on the right here, it's something that you can unlock once you've unlocked your takeover enough. Once you get it to 44, I believe you still have to progress your bar up once or twice more, and then you can get custom takeover. But once you do, you come here and you get 4 slots to customize and make whatever custom takeover you want. So you can see this one here, which is the only one I have, is called handle, and it's simply just my ball handling. As you see, level 1 is +3, level 2 is +6, +9, all the way up to level 5 where we get to a 93 ball handle. And then for the takeover ability, I just use Hydration Hero because it helps with your stamina so you don't get drained as much. And then that is my takeover. Now, the reason we want to add that takeover to our build is so our handle can look and feel a lot faster. If I go to the art of shooting here, if you don't know, the art of shooting secretly has takeover in here. Unlike your my court does not have that. So when I get the ball here, you guys are gonna see, as you saw right there, like that right there, that momentum cross looked very slow. Everything else with the handle kind of just looks slowish. Again, try to momentum. Looks very slow, right? Because we're stuck with that 78 ball handling, but hit a few shots in here and your takeover, as I brick right there, but your takeover will secretly kind of start to go up. And let me hit a few more, and I think that should be good. And now when we look at our handle, as you see, it just looks way more like crisp, faster, as you see, like right there. So I would say like right now I'm probably at like my level 4, level 5 takeover if I were actually in a game. As you see, the momentum right there just looks a lot cleaner. Right there, just looks a whole lot better. So this is why you also want to do this takeover. But as far as like what dribble moves I use, I don't really use the momentum cross all that much, but it is there if that's something you want to use. What I typically use is this move I'm about to show you guys right here, which if you have the ball in your left hand, you're going to want to hold turbo and then simply just flick the right stick to the right and then left. And then you get this nice little like escape. I think it's in the KD signature size up. It's either that or one of the escapes. But if I try it again, sometimes you kind of get that little like fake kind of like and one move or what Kyrie kind of did in the All-Star game. But This move, you guys will see in the gameplay, you get a lot of separation. So that's one of the main moves I use. Now, another move you can use if you don't want to just spam that is sort of similar, hold turbo. If the ball's in your left hand, instead of flicking right to left, we're going to do the opposite, left to right. And you kind of get that forward little crossover move right there, like that. So you can kind of switch it up. You can either go like this, sometimes maybe go like that. There's the snatch from the pro, step back. But yeah, that's it as far as the attributes, animations, cap breakering, takeover as well. So now it's time to actually show you guys in-game footage of seeing how this build looks. So here's that right now. All right, y'all, now it's time to actually show some gameplay so you guys can actually see how this build looks. And as you see, first possession, getting the 3 to go. But yeah, as you guys are going to see from the gameplay, this build just feels so easy to use. As you see, we get him to jump there, run to the rim. Hey! It ain't fair, bro. This is just not fair, bro. I'm telling y'all, the first build I made to start the year before this one was the small guard kind of Steph all around build. And once I switched to this 6'10 build that y'all are watching right now, it felt night and day how much easier it was to win games on the ones. As you see me, okay, hold on, let me explain myself. I don't cheese midi fades, all right? I don't cheese that stuff. Can this build do it? Yes, it certainly can, but I was just testing during this clip because this is when I believe the first patch 2.0 came out, so just had to see how the fades were. But for the midi, they're definitely still there. But finally missed my first shot, so now we get to actually see some defense for this build. First possession on defense. Let's see if we can clamp up and get the ball right back so we can... I don't know what happened, but it's fine because we're up 12-2, so we just need to get a quick stop right here, and then we can get back on offense. As you see, he tries to drive, and I honestly thought he was going up there. I thought he was going to go up. He gets us jumping in the air, but it's fine. We should be able to get a stop here. As you see, we're getting bumpy. That's the nice thing with this build. Again, you have only 83 perimeter around there, but if you're smart and you know what you're doing, you can pretty much lock up with that rating. Now, again, the other nice thing too is in the ones, you're mostly going to be playing 6'10", 6'11", 7-footers, and they're not going to have the same handle as we drive to the cup again. So defensively, you are chilling. It is crazy how a low 80s is just as good as, you know, kind of low 90s, mid 90s, but that's 2K for you. So yeah, even when you play up against the 6'6", 6'5" point guards that spam dribble, again, if you're smart, what in the... There is no way. This man is taunting me down 14-4. That had to be on accident, right? There's just no way. But yeah, you can guard essentially every position as long as you're smart and you know what you're doing defensively. Now, back on offense, as you see, I'm kind of just toying with the defender. Not really doing much, just seeing what I can test out with the build, you know, because it was still early on when I was recording this. As you see, hey, fake the drive spin, hey, drive snatch for the 3. You already know that's money. And just like that, this game is wraps. As you see, the defender leaving me wide open for the game-winning 3. So yeah, first gameplay, we win that easily. But this next gameplay, you guys are going to see the shooting display that this build can go on. As you see, we hit the easy midi right there. Next possession, sizing up the defender. He's sacking off, no hand up. And that's just going to be easy money from 3. Like, does he not understand this is a KD-like build? You gotta put a hand up. Again, not playing any hands up defense. Tries to jump, but it's too late. That's too much space, and that's another green 3 to go. So by now, he should know. Get a hand up, play up tight, there you go. But then he just gets blown. Hey, yo, pause. But he gets blown by because, again, we can kind of cheese and speed boost on this build. So he wants to sag off so he doesn't get blown by, and we get another 3 to go. If he plays tight, we just blow by. It's like, what do you do against this build? And again, if you really want to be toxic in OP, you can just spam the midi fade. So it is honestly a nightmare trying to guard this build, this KD on steroids, as we get the ankle breaker and the 3 to go. Like, what do you do? This build gets ankle breakers as well. It's like, man, snatch back, think we're gonna shoot the 3. Hey! Go in and drive for the dunk instead. This build is just insane. Well, that's gonna wrap up this one. As you guys will see here, I finish off this game, and it's gonna be my 7th win during this little session I recorded. So yeah, if you're looking for a tall KD-like build that you can kind of ISO, play the ones on, definitely look towards making this build. If you guys enjoyed and you want to see some more builds or other videos, make sure you guys comment and let me know down below. But that's gonna wrap up this one. My name's November, and I am out.